There he is. This is the guy. We caught him red-handed. Look at that. Look at that. No, just kidding. Hey, Miko. But what I'm not kidding about is this as a follow-up. So alas, this thing does not prevent litter from being shattered outside of the litter box. So whatever this thing is supposed to do, it's not going to prevent this from happening. The only thing that actually helps with this is when you give it a different angle, when you position it more like toward a wall or whatever that is that's next to it. Because then your cat does not have the feeling that he can catapult himself out of it. And we tried that and it worked. But then we set it back in this position because we thought that's what was making the Litter Robot 3 before we got this new one. We thought that's what was making it acting up, but it isn't. So we're probably going to try it with this one now that we know everything is okay with this one. Probably going to position it toward, in this case, the window. Because that really helped. That forces your cat to come out slowly instead of catapulting itself out of it. I think it's the only thing that can help with these kind of things. Let's see how easy it is to vacuum this out of there. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. Perfect. Actually, not much better. This is perfect. This is just dust on the surface. Look, that is really awesome. Yes. Okay, like that. Because with Litter Robot 3, this was rubbery. So it would kind of become squishy and just squeezed in itself, and that didn't let go of the litter that sometimes fell in between these ridges. So, but this is more solid. This is like a very sturdy thing. It doesn't bend in each other. So when you go over it with a vacuum, you actually suck everything out. How crazy that sound. So yeah, good thing. So last night was the first night, of course, for the cats to be with this thing, and we've been watching them from the window of our bedroom right there, so we could see them. And again, they were super fascinated, and the app showed us that the interrupted cycles like gazillion times. So they were really fascinated by it. So although it does more or less seem the same, the cats can actually tell the difference by the scent, I think, mostly. Maybe the scent or the shape, but whatever. But yeah, so they did register it as something. They did register it as something different. And that's okay. And this morning, they can't be bothered anymore. They did the sniffing, they did their exploring. They know that it's nothing to be afraid of. And now they don't care. And of course, they've been on it, thank God. They've been using it. So what you hear in the background is Mike cleaning, like really cleaning thoroughly the bathroom. Just like with this thing. Never let a whole week go by without doing like some really good cleaning around the house, disinfect and all that. So guys, if you're lazy to do some actual cleaning and get in there once a week, then at least find yourself some of these cleaning towels that promise to kill 99.9% of the germs, bacteria and all that, and use that to wipe it off at least once a week. Or, and I must say this, just from my conscience, or you can just do it once a week like what we do. Yeah, take everything out and just clean it like thoroughly. And not use this. But if this is what's holding you, if this is the threshold, the cleaning of this thing, then you can do plan B, which is these antibacterial towels. Yeah. Guys, a little update about us using the LittleRobot 4. Look what Mike just discovered by accident. If you point the opening of your LittleRobot 4 toward the sun, fully in the sun, it won't work because the sensor gets confused and cannot...
Thinks there's a cat in there.
Yeah,
so
thinks cat in there, and it cannot significate when something goes through and when it doesn't go through because the sensor can't make that difference anymore.
It has to do with the shadows that are down here.
Apparently has to do something with the shadows that fall while it spins.
Shadows. Look.
So look.
And if you block out the light, so there's no light in the globe, it starts turning again.
Yeah. And this is normal that whenever it thinks a cat has been in there, it always is cautious and takes some time before it starts spinning again. So, but it will spin again. Just give it some time. See, there it goes.
And now, if I remove it, it stops again.
See, it stops again. So it's confirmed, ladies and gentlemen.
So
it's confirmed.
Very important that the whole inside of the globe, so like this as well,
is not half in the sun and half in the shadow.
Not in the sun. So
it has to be either. Yeah, see, there it goes.
So
like we said in the previous video, why did we in the first place point it toward the sun? Well, because it's not about the sun, it's about this glass here. It's about that it has something that makes the cat, our Miko that goes in there, feel that he cannot catapult himself out of there because that's what he does, and he causes the litter box to scatter all around. But when we face it towards something like this wall, he doesn't have the feeling that he can do that. He doesn't have the feeling that he can jump freely out of there like crazy, like he's shot out of a cannon. So what he does is he comes slowly outside, relatively slowly. So the litter doesn't scatter as much. That's why we did that in the first place. But there's nothing to it, guys. I mean, we don't have any other option. During the summer months, we can't do that anymore. So with the consequence that there will be more litter scattered around.
You can
do it at
turn
night,
it around
maybe.
At night.
Yeah.
And I think that's
the
majority
limit the whole thing.
of...
But yeah, crazy problem. But there it is. But thank God it has a solution.
It's these have electronic, or this one has an electronic sensor which just sees this light as a cat.
It's too sensitive. It's too advanced. Mike was just saying the LittleRobot 3 had a completely different situation with the sensor. The sensor was more
a physical switch.
Yeah.
So whenever a cat entered the globe, the entire machine
would lean a little bit to the back.
And it was
activate. Activate that sensor, trigger it. But now it's triggered by even the light and the shadows, like you would see in Mission Impossible. That kind of infrared sensors. Whenever something changes in the light, it's triggered. So it's crazy. But yeah, thank God. Again, this shouldn't be a problem. And this is the solution. Guys, as part of the follow-up, of course, we cannot leave out the cleaning process of this thing. To summing it up, the cleaning process of this thing, from what I just understood from Mike, because he's the one that's doing it, is it's much easier. It goes much faster, much easier. Not a lot of dirt clinged to the inside of this thing for some reason. So for some reason, it all comes very easier off when you clean it with these.
Yeah, but it's not as dirty either.
Yeah, it's not as dirty.
I thought, well, you know, with the internal shield that is missing, it might be worse, but no.
This is just dust, so don't confuse this with
it's upside down right now. So
yeah, so this is just dust that came off, and this is what remains on these edges, but Yeah.
It's not dirty at all.
No,
you
it
can see
isn't.
it's been used a week now by 2 cats,
Yeah.
and this is what it looks
And
like.
what we mean by dirty, you don't see their poop smudged all over the place.
No.
So it's just the dust of the actual litter. But that doesn't mean that we don't try to disinfect it nevertheless.